Hey folks, this is Sean, aka Simple Simon from ADV Rider, and I'm just giving a little rundown on this Powermaster 205 Everlast unit that I've been reviewing. What I just did was a quickie plasma cut here of some 1/4" plate steel, and I had it on video, and unfortunately I screwed the video up. So all you get to see is what the outcome is, and in this case it shows what I cut. A little bit of slag there but pretty nice cut, clean, quick. This is the plasma unit that it comes with, and it's got a little standoff on it so I can just run it and keep the right distance the whole time when I'm running this thing across. I just made some modifications to my welding table to take the ends off here because I kept bumping into the corners. It's taken some while getting used to the machine, but overall it works pretty good. This is the unit itself. I'm kind of learning as I go here, but it's got a couple of different settings for it, setting whether or not you're doing cutting, TIG, stick. It's got some pulse controls for the DC TIG. It's also got some AC controls when you're doing AC TIG, like if you're working with aluminum. And then it's got some panel adjustments for the base amperage if you're doing stick, and the arc force, which is if you've ever tried to draw an arc stick welding, it's kind of a pain in the ass, and this I haven't tested it yet, but this will supposedly take care of that situation. It's kind of difficult. And it has a couple hose bib settings in the front. It's got, I guess this is an 1/8" NPT for compressed air for the TIG, or for the plasma torch, and then you also use the same fittings for the TIG torch there. And then you can swap the cables to either side depending upon the polarity, if you're doing electrode negative or electrode positive. I've been doing some reading on that. Electrode positive tends to heat up the tungsten tips on TIG, so usually use electrode negative, which places like majority of the heat into the heating surface itself. One thing that's unique about this, I don't know if you can hear the compressed air running. I went out to the local Harbor Freight and picked up an argon tank. Let me disconnect that. And I also put together some quick connect fittings here. Instead of using just regular hose clamps, I put some quick connects on here. So when I elect to use compressed air, I can run it through the regulator here. I also have another regulator in line. And then for compressed air, or I can swap it to here, the other hose for my argon when I'm doing my TIG torch work. So overall, I think the quick connect setting is the way to go, because nobody's going to be physically unhooking hoses, etc. And it's a true multifunction device, so you're going to be using different applications periodically. I thought I'd make that as easy as possible. A couple other observations I made just from testing it out is that I have a foot pedal here, and the foot pedal really overrides the function on the front as it relates to amperage. So if I'm doing some TIG work and I have the amperage set here, base amperage, and I have some sort of DC pulse running, the moment that you adopt the usage of that, you pretty much get rid of the pulse settings and any settings that you have there, and it's all controlled by your foot pedal. So that's going to take some getting used to, especially for a newbie like me. I do have some sample Tig Welds. I was just totally destroying some work, but this is my first Tig Weld. And actually it's not too bad. I got pretty decent coverage. I think I was using a number 6 cup, and I'm just using some traditional filler rod, but I got tons and tons of penetration, so I'm trying to work through that. Too much penetration on that weld, I believe. But overall, man, this unit just really rocks. I'm kind of excited about it. I'll continue to put some videos up, and hopefully next time I do a cut or something like that, I won't screw the video up before I get it sent out. Out here.